There is no way you will understand your own money by passing medications to patients. There is no way you will understand your own financial position or your own financial stand if you don't educate yourself on financial wisdom, nuggets, and so many free knowledge out there. Be financially literate if you want to become financially independent. Nurses are so broke. There is so much competition, unhealthy, trying to compare with one another, trying to keep up with the Joneses. There's so many reasons why I sit sometimes at work, I listen to other nurses, and I ask myself, why wouldn't you be having so many credit cards, so many bills? You're so exhausted, you're picking up so many shifts, you don't even have time for your family, your loved ones, your friends, just because you're trying to keep up with your bills. So many nurses are broke. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys why so many nurses are broke. There are so many nurses I have come across that the stories they tell, the bills they have to pay, the things they have to do to keep up with appearances, to keep up with social impressions, with the peer pressure. That makes me wonder why they do what they do, is the reason why so many nurses are so broke, but yet they make you to think that nurses are living the fly life. To all the new nurses out there, nursing students, aspiring nurses, come closer. Let me tell you these reasons and make sure you are listening. Pay close attention, because one day when you become a nurse, I can tell you it is very easy to fall into that trap. Let's list the reasons why. The very first reason why most nurses are so broke is because they don't have any goal to focus on. Look, let me tell you something. If you have a goal to focus on, let's say you have a goal of, I want to buy a house. You know that the house is, for example, $250,000 US. You know that you have set yourself for a figure, you have set yourself to a time frame, you have set yourself to a financial amount that you have to work towards. When you set those goals, it's going to push you to want to achieve those goals. And let me tell you, the satisfaction, the joy, that feeling of I did it, patting your shoulder on the back and saying, job well done, is so compelling to even push you to want to do more. From speaking with so many nurses don't have goals. So many nurses don't have goals. Most nurses just come to work, clock in, do their job, give medications, make sure the patients are clean, make sure the patients are comfortable, go home, open their phones, scroll on Amazon, scroll on what is the new latest thing out there. Maybe the neighbors have bought a new car and they're like, oh, let me just go to Car Guru or let me go to Carvana and see how much this car costs. Let me see if I can afford it. They don't have set goals. Nurses have set goals and work towards those goals. One thing about having a set goal also is that when that goal is set on brick and mortar, there's no way that you're going to be distracted not to want to achieve that goal. There is a burning desire within you to want to make sure that you are hitting that goal and maybe moving on to another goal. There is a popular financial saying that financial freedom is not about how much you make. It is a human behavioral thing. The way you spend your money, the way you save your money, the way you budget your money, the way you allocate finances for certain things will determine how fast and how far you achieve your financial independence. And so I want to appeal to all my nurses out there, please set goals. I cannot even tell you how much I cringe when I hear nurses just say, hey, I saw this thing and I think that I really like it and I want to get it. Hey, what happened to your goals of maybe buying a house? Hey, what happened to your goals of maybe paying off your car? Hey, what happened to your goals of maybe trying to save up for rainy days? Set a goal, work towards it. When you achieve it, it's going to be very inspiring to want to move on to the next goal. The next reason why most nurses are still very broke, or many nurses are broke, is lifestyle inflation. I cannot tell you how many times I have parked in the lot when I am going to work and I see Mercedes Benz, I see Teslas, I see Audis. No hate to those who can afford the luxury cars, but I'm telling you that most millionaires, if you did not know, have bought their cars when they're 3 to 5 years, and cars which are second-handed with a mileage of at least 20,000. There is this lifestyle inflation when we become nurses. We think that because we have achieved that status, we think that we have achieved that abbreviation behind our names as RN, we just feel that we should go ahead and buy stuff. We feel that we should make ourselves feel like we have attained it in life, we have succeeded, we have hit a certain threshold in life, and we want to inflate our lifestyles. If you can afford the luxury car, make sure that you are paying it cash. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen so many nurses buying designer clothes when they can still shop at Shein. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen nurses buy luxury cars when they can still buy a regular Honda or Toyota. And I cannot tell you how many times I've seen nurses who are buying maybe the Stanley Cups and maybe different things just because they saw other nurses buying this stuff. In order for you to attain financial freedom, in order for you to attain financial independence, keep aside all the luxury things. Keep aside all the designer things. There's no way you're going to achieve financial independence if you're still banking, or if you're still sleeping and dreaming and craving to get those designer bags, sleeping and dreaming to get all those luxury cars and the big houses in the gated communities. Please, there are many other options you can always buy that will satisfy the need or the necessity or the reason for which you need that item for. The next thing that just drives me crazy, the next thing that just makes me want to pull my hair from my head, is nurses buying things which they can make for themselves at home. I cannot tell you how many times some nurses will walk onto the floor and they are holding their Starbucks cups, or maybe a lunch bag that they just passed from maybe Starbucks, or they just came from, I don't know, from some driveway and they picked up food, or maybe they passed by a restaurant. All those things are very, very unnecessary. Do you know how much it takes for you to make a simple lunch at home? Have you actually taken out time to take maybe $50 or $100 and gone to the grocery store, buy something, make it at home, see how many times that $100 can stretch out, as opposed to taking $100 and buying Starbucks coffee, buying food from the restaurant, a takeout or something of that sort? I am so sick and tired of seeing nurses coming to work and thinking that Starbucks especially is the in game, and thinking that Starbucks means that they are living the life. Starbucks means that they are at a certain point in their achievement status. Look, let me tell you, there is so much you can be saving from making your own lunch from home. There is so much you can be saving from making your own coffee from home. I cannot tell you how much I save from making my own coffee from home. Go to Walmart, for example, and check out a coffee jar or a coffee bottle, let's say Nestle. I think I get that for like maybe $9 to $13, and I cannot even continue to emphasize how many times I have used and I am still using that container right up to now. You buy the coffee jar, maybe let's say $15. You buy a pack sachet of sugar, maybe let's say $10. You buy a creamer, let's say $10. Let's say we add that all together, it's going to give, let me stretch it plus tax, $35. Do you know how much $35 is going to go when it comes to making coffee, if you are really a coffee person and you need it at work? As opposed to a coffee cup, I drink Starbucks, but it's not at the stage or the level at which most nurses do drink it. I get so annoyed when I see people, spending money on something which they could have saved the money just to make it for themselves at home. The next thing that makes so many other nurses broke, let me tell you, new nurses come closer, because this goes especially to you guys. I'm talking about scrubs, I'm talking about your shoes, I'm talking about maybe, I know for the stethoscope you cannot cut your way around it, just get yourself a good Littmann stethoscope. But there are so many things that nurses feel like they have to go for the luxury brands, luxury in quotes, in terms of the fix, in terms of the mandala. Hey, let me tell you something. There are so many nurses I know, especially the older nurses, they have been there for a very long time, they have made the money. Most of them buy scrubs from Walmart, I'm talking about scrubs for a pair that you're going to buy like for $30, as opposed to going to Fix and buying those scrubs for $50, $60. Don't get me wrong, I have Fix scrubs, but I have those Fix scrubs because my agency gives them to us free of charge during Nurses Week. So it's not like something that I bought it out of my own money. There are many affordable options out there from where you can go get yourself a scrub. Go to Walmart, for example. Go to, other small local scrub stores around, and you can get good, nice scrubs at an affordable price. Aside from scrubs, there's also the shoes, there's also the vacation, there's also the luxury house, the apartment, that condo, the vacations, the furnitures. All these things are so unnecessary. Let me tell you something. When you are starting up, especially the new nurses, let me tell you, if you want to attain that financial independence, you have to start slowly but surely. I am not saying that you won't get there one day, but you have to take those baby steps, attain your financial freedom, attain your financial independence, so that you have room, you have leeway for you to easily be able to afford all these luxury things. There are nurses out there who can easily afford a Fix scrub. There are nurses out there who can easily afford certain things. But for all the new nurses who are coming on, please don't be over-consumed with trying to match up with all these old nurses, because they've been there, they've been around, they can afford some of these things. New nurses, come closer, pull your ears, bring your paper and your pen, and hope you are writing down some of the things you see some nurses do. They are taking it on credit. Don't come and live an inflated lifestyle and think that, because this nurse is doing this, because this nurse can afford it, that makes it equally so for me to be able to afford it. Lifestyle inflation for nurses is a huge problem. And if you want to attain financial independence, if you want to attain financial freedom, I am telling you that lifestyle inflation is going to take you nowhere. Zero. Nada. Next reason why so many nurses are so broke is because they don't do investments. I cannot even tell you how many times I talk to my co-workers and all they say is, on my spare times I went out, I ate out, I went to the restaurants, I have to come back to work, next week when I'm free, I'm going to go to this place, I'm going to do this thing, and there is nothing they mention about investment. Excuse me. Most nurses are using an app called Cash App. Most nurses can easily download an app called Weibo. There are so many apps out there that you can download from your phone and start learning how to invest in stocks and start learning how to invest in cryptocurrencies if that is your forte. There's so many things that you can do when it comes to investment. I am so proud when I hear nurses say that they are into real estate. I am so proud when I hear nurses say that they are into Airbnb. I am so proud when I hear nurses say that they are investing into stocks. I am so proud when I hear nurses say that they have businesses. That makes my day. That makes me so proud of my co-workers. But I will tell you something. There are still so many nurses who are so broke that all they think of is when that paycheck comes in, they are thinking of that designer bag, they are thinking of that clothes, they are thinking of that vacation spot, they are thinking of that restaurant, they are thinking of that silly, stupid things that would instead set them back as opposed to setting them ahead of the game. It's not where you would actually become financially independent, financially free, a millionaire one day when you have just one job. Quote me anywhere. All the nurses out there, if you are holding on or banking on only to your hospital job or your nursing job, let me tell you, it's going to take forever for you to have or get financial freedom or financial independence. You have to stretch your money. You have to make your money your army. You have to engage your money to go work for you. Whilst you are clocking in and you are giving medications to your patients, doing everything that is needed for you to do in the hospital, please make sure that you are employing your money to make money for you. There is no way you can be at 20 places at a time, but I can assure you that there is so many ways that you can make your money be at 20 places at a time whilst you are sleeping, whilst you are doing other things, and you are cashing out. In that regards, I am saying, nurses, Please be open-minded to investments. You can invest in real estate, in the 401k, Roth IRA, stocks, cryptocurrencies, Airbnb, digital product businesses, laundromats. There is so many things. If you have a talent, if you have a skill, put that skill to financial use. If you can do nails, if you can do hair, if you can do makeup, if you can make videos, open a YouTube channel, do something, create another source or another stream of income. I am so mad when I see nurses just clocking in and out, and that is all their source of income, all their source of reliability when it comes to financial independence. There is no way you will become financially independent if your job is your only source of income. I repeat, even millionaires out there have at least 7 sources of income. And so who are you as a nurse to say that you will become financially independent or become a millionaire one day with just your nursing job? Fat, big lie. If you want to attain that status, you must get other streams of income. You must employ your money to be your employers and make you money whilst you sleep. Next thing that makes so many nurses so broke is that we are so comfortable where we are, just because so many people say that the nursing job or the nursing profession is a financially stable career. So many nurses feel that there is nothing else they can do. That just drives me crazy. Come on, nurses. There is so much material out there on social media, on YouTube. You can learn so many business opportunities, so many investment opportunities. You can expand your knowledge base. You can expand how else can you make money for yourself. Nurses have become so comfortable with their paychecks that they don't care on, scouting or looking around to find other sources or means of getting more money. That is a big fat no. I can tell you that I am one of those persons that every day when I come to work, I am always on YouTube. I don't only come to YouTube just to entertain myself. Yes, there are times when I can. But if you look at my timeline on YouTube, there is so many videos I have watched on what other business ideas, what other streams of income I can create, what other skills do I have that I can monetize it. There is just so much information on social media that we nurses can transform ourselves to becoming that millionaire in a heartbeat. It will not be easy, don't get me wrong, but it is very, very attainable. There is so much information out there. We live in a digital age right now that so much free information on the internet, so much free information. Take for example this YouTube channel. I came to create YouTube channel because I learned that YouTube channel can be monetized and that can be another source of income. Where did I get it from? I got it from YouTube. Where did I get it from? I got it from the internet. I am so tired of nurses just sitting at work and scrolling on their phones, on TikTok, on Instagram, and just entertaining themselves. Whereas that is time that they could have used to maybe learn of other business opportunities, other investment opportunities. There is rental properties out there. There are some businesses you can buy, maybe a car wash, maybe a laundromat, things that you can invest with the money that I know that we all do have to bring in more money for yourselves. I know that not many people are comfortable making videos and putting themselves out there on social media, but YouTube for me is one of those routes or those options or those avenues where you can make some passive income very easy and very steadily. As a nurse, I make videos of me whilst at work. Why can other nurses not make it? I have seen so many other nurses making videos like the ones that I make. I tell you what, these nurses YouTube channels have been monetized and they're making money out of it. And so I am fed up and sick and tired of nurses who just feel so comfortable with their jobs and think that the only way they can have their financial income or their source of money to pay their bills, to afford certain things in their life is only through their nursing job. Please, nurses, let us wake up and smell the coffee. Nurses, let us wake up. There is so much more we can do, especially like I have mentioned, with the money that we already have, that we can invest in so many other things and bring in other passive income. Another reason why so many nurses are broke is because they don't have plans. They don't make constructive plans. Most nurses come to work, they clock in, they do their job as usual, they go back home, come back again, clock in, go home, just the same cycle, repeating it. And when the year comes to an end, they go, they file their taxes. When they get their money, tell me, what do most nurses do with those money? I can tell you that most nurses are planning for maybe surgeries, they are planning for a vacation, they are planning maybe to buy something that will not add any value to their lives. Nurses, let us learn to plan ahead. We are already in the month of June right now. You have 6 months, enough time for you to plan and set up, make a concrete plan that, hey, I want to do this. And so for me to be able to do this, I'm going to need this certain amount of money. And when this money comes in, these are the attainable steps or things I am going to do to achieve this goal. The reason why I bring this up is because I have had conversations with some of my co-workers, and they tell me they are so looking forward to filing their taxes. And when they actually file their taxes, and I'm like, oh wow, I filed my taxes. And you know, when you get to ask them like, okay, what did you do with your tax money? Oh, there was this vacation, I planned a trip with my kids and my this. I am not faulting you from going for vacation, but I am saying that I have constructive plans, especially when money is coming that maybe you did not expect, especially when a large amount of money is coming in that can actually turn your life around in terms of an investment or a business opportunity or a financial opportunities. Let me tell you something. One thing about millionaires is that they always make sure that they have a safety net with some finances kept somewhere, so that when an opportunity shows itself, they can actually use that money to hop onto that business opportunity and make money. When COVID came on, how many nurses had money that they could comfortably invest in stocks that had fallen like more than 200% below what they have ever seen? Stocks at that time were going for a throwaway prices. But how many nurses at that point had the money saved somewhere to be able to buy stocks and buy a huge amount of stocks to be able to attain financial freedom today? When COVID broke out, Bitcoin was $3,000. How many nurses out there had money to be able to say, hey, I could comfortably have bought maybe 10 Bitcoins at that time when it was $3,000? Do you know how much money they could have had today? Can you do the math? Come closer. Have you done the math? Most of them would have been financially independent, so to speak, or they could have had some financial source of income that would have made them much more comfortable and work lesser hours. But most nurses, when they have money, when they get their paycheck, they are always so quick to spend it without making concrete plans and working towards those goals to attain it with their paycheck and saving it for rainy days. What am I saying in essence? Nurses, please have concrete plans. Make sure you are saving your money for when an opportunity shows up. The next reason why so many nurses are broke is because they are living paycheck to paycheck. In the financial world, there's something called pay yourself first. And what does this mean? Pay yourself first means that when your paycheck comes in, before you pay your bills, you take out a certain amount of money. That depends on how your bills or how much your bills come up to. Let's say that in a month, you get $5,000 and your bills is actually, let's say, $3,000. Before you want to pay your bills, pay yourself first by taking out $2,000 and save that money for maybe a future business investment opportunity that might come up. Pay yourself first. Stop living paycheck to paycheck, nurses. Stop living paycheck to paycheck. There has been this talk out there that the economy is going to crash. The economy is going to crash. There is also the talk out there that real estate world is going to crash. If I thought that happens, how many nurses out there are ready to be able to buy houses that maybe today it's 250 US dollars and maybe could come down to like 100,000. I'm just giving an arbitrary number. How many nurses can comfortably say that, hey, I have some money saved up and I can comfortably afford these houses? Stop living paycheck to paycheck. Save money. Pay yourself first. I'm so tired of nurses saying, oh, I am supposed to work only 3 days. Oh, I cannot afford to pick up an extra day because I have to do this and because I have to do that. Look, let me tell you something. You are just deceiving yourself. If you can afford it, especially if you have the time, go pick up that extra job. Go pick up the extra shifts. Don't be scared of the taxes. I know many people are thinking, oh, the tax is going to cripple me. Oh, I'm going to have to be paying a lot. Oh, it's not going to make sense after taxes. Excuse me. That extra $100 that enters your paycheck, that extra $100 that enters your bank account, it's so worth it. As opposed to you not picking up an extra shift and you're going to the restaurant to waste that money on buying food that will never make you money in the first place. That is you making another person rich as opposed to you making yourself rich. Nurses, please pay yourself first. I don't understand that our nursing job has made us to feel that the maximum that most nurses think they can do is 3 days a week. Let me tell you, that is a big fat lie. A big fat lie. What exactly are you doing on the other 4 days that you're off, that you cannot pick up even if it's just one extra day? Do you know what that extra money can do for you? Do you know what that extra shift can amount to in your bank account? Come on, nurses, there is more we can do. Let us level up. Even if it means that you can pick up just one extra shift a week, please do that. And if you feel that money will not make sense, just take that money of that extra shift and save it up. Every time you pick up an extra shift, save the money that comes from that extra shift. And then at the end of the year or at the end of the month or bi-yearly, I want to hear the figure that you have saved just from picking up extra shifts. And tell me at the end of the year, after you file taxes, how did that kill you? You can actually work more than 3 shifts in a week. I said what I said. The next reason why most nurses are broke is because if you have not been paying attention, the price of goods and commodities are actually going up. And let me tell you, our paychecks are not going up. They are not measuring up to the cost of goods and services out there. Think of how much you're paying for daycare. Think of how much you're paying for babysitting. Think of how much you're paying when you go to the restaurant. Think of how much you're paying when you go for vacation. Think of how much you pay when you wash your car. And think of how much your paycheck has increased. Excuse me, did you actually say something? How much did your paycheck actually increase? Look, let me tell you. I will still go back to the point I just made. Pick up extra shifts. You have to measure up to the cost of goods and services in today. And the only way you can measure up to it is by picking up those extra shifts, is by making sure you're expanding yourself to other sources of income, is by making sure that you are saving up for opportunities when they present themselves to you, and is by making sure that you are cutting off from unnecessary expenditures that don't bring any satisfaction to your overall life. The next reason why most nurses are broke is because they like to compare. Let me laugh in past tense when it comes to this one, because the comparison amongst nurses is crazy. I'm talking about comparison in terms of cars, in terms of houses, in terms of furniture at home, in terms of electronics back in their kitchen, in terms of the kind of phones they use, in terms of the gadgets they have, in terms of their lunch bags, their Stanley cups, maybe their scrubs. Look, the competition is so unhealthy. The competition is so unhealthy. If you can afford something, please stay within that range. If a fixed scrub is not something you can afford, my dear, stay where you can afford. If you can afford what Walmart has, please go get what Walmart has. You cannot push yourself and kill yourself to buy the fix just because every other person is wearing a fixed scrub. I said what I said. The competition is so unreal and so unhealthy. Why do you have to measure up with your friend who is driving a Mercedes car? Why do you have to measure up with your friends who are putting on an on-sport shoes? Why do you have to feel like you have to do what other nurses are doing? Go to places where other nurses are going to. You don't have to live the sort of life that other nurses are living. You don't know if they have husbands or spouses or partners who can comfortably afford that lifestyle. Why push yourself to compare and to want to compete with that kind of lifestyle? Please, avoid lifestyle inflation. Avoid unhealthy competition. It is not only killing you, but killing your financial dreams, goals, and aspiration, and also squeezing the oxygen out of your bank account. Very, very unnecessary. If you think that you want to look at those older nurses, look, they have been in this game for a very long time. Most of them have already attained their financial goals and aspiration, and so they just come to work just to keep themselves busy. They just come to work just to pay for their bills. They don't have any big aspiration goals that they are aiming for. I have a co-worker who was telling me, or two actually, they told me that all their kids are grown up. They told me they've bought their house and the house is already paid off. Their cars are already paid off. And so the only reason why they come to work is just to keep themselves busy. They are not like fighting to buy something or fight. There is nothing else that they want. The only reason they come to work at this time is just to keep them busy and pay the bills. Look, all the new nurses out there, don't kill yourself. Oh, don't kill yourself. Most of these old nurses have attained all their financial goals. So don't try to measure up with them or to them. The next reason why most nurses are broke is because they don't automate certain financial aspects of their life. Look, there is no way that you can keep up with all your bills if you don't automate your payments. There is just no way, because you will find yourself paying, fees and taxes just because you forgot to pay your bills. Please just automate your payments. Just automate your payments. Don't try to say that, oh, I know when this is being paid. Look, for example, I automate all my bills, like everything. I don't want to know when they are due. I just know that they are all hooked up to this account, and I know that this account has the amount of money in there to be able to pay off my bills every month, and I don't have to worry myself about that. I can't even remember the last time I got hit with a fine or a fee just because I forgot to pay a bill. Hell no. I automate every bill that I have, and they are automatically taken from my account, and I don't need to worry myself with any late payment and all that stuff. Like I have said before, financial independence and financial freedom is not a mathematical thing. It is a behavioral thing. You have to be very conscious. You have to be very into your finances for you to be able to attain that financial independence. If you're not so involved in your finances, if you're not so involved in your bills and making sure you're taking conscious steps towards doing certain things, my dear, there is no way that you will attain that financial independence. I said what I said. Next reason why most nurses are broke is because we are still hooked up to this thing of paying minimum payment. Let me tell you, I still have my school loan, and I was so mad when 2 weeks ago I decided to look into my school loan and to know if I am paying minimum every month, how much interest will I be paying? Do you know how much I will be paying interest if I had to be paying minimum? $60, an extra whole life saving $60 every month just by paying the minimum amount. I know that there's going to be some month life happens that you can only afford to pay the minimum, but I am telling you that if you want to avoid some unnecessary payments, pay more than the minimum expected payment on most of your payment plans that you have out there, whether it is cars, whether it is your school loans, whether it is your store credit cards, Amazon, furniture stores. Pay more than the minimum amount, so that when you finally pay off all that amount of money within a shorter time, you must have saved most of the money that you would have paid in terms of interest, and you keep it for yourself. What am I saying? Pay more than the minimum amount expected on any payment that you have. I know we live in a society or in a country where our lives revolve around credit cards, but let me tell you, credit cards have killed so many people that made so many people. If you understand how credit cards work, it can work to your advantage. But if you don't understand how credit cards work, please stay away from them. I cannot tell you how many times I have spoken to some of my co-nurses, and they tell me the crazy amounts they have owed on credit cards combined. And I am like, what the hell did you do with all that money on a credit card or credit cards? Some of them use those credit cards to pay off for some stupid vacations, for some stupid life experiences, for some cars or some restaurants, or buying furniture, or buying things they cannot afford. A credit card means you are spending money you don't have on something which probably is not even a necessity. You can live without a credit card by going to get an extra income, by finding another job, by picking up extra shifts, by doing other things, invest, make money out of the money you already have, and you will see yourself avoiding all these credit cards. By the way, have you seen the interest rates these days? The interest rate is crazy. 2 weeks ago, when I was taking account or looking into my financial things, and I was looking at the interest rate on my bank card, and I was seeing 23%, 29%, and I was like, wait a minute. So you want to tell me that I'm paying all this money to the bank on credit card interest rates just because I am using their money? And I decided to pay off my credit cards. As I speak to you now, the only credit card I have open is just one, and that is Amazon. Every other credit card has been paid off because the credit card interest rates are crazy and very stupid. It is just unrealistic. It is just mind-blowing and annoying. Just too annoying. Pay off your credit cards. Those credit cards are killing you as opposed to making you. Pay them off. Next reason why most nurses are broke is because, yes, I said you should save your money, but are you saving the money in the right place? Are you saving your money in the right bucket? Have you heard of high yield interest rate accounts? Have you heard of SoFi? Have you heard of Ally Bank? Have you heard of UFB? There is so many banks or online banks out there that can pay you more interest rates on the money you are saving in their account as opposed to the brick and mortar banks around. Have you checked how much your banks are paying you for saving money in your account? 0.0000 what? But these accounts that I just mentioned, Ally Bank, SoFi, UFB, I am not affiliated to them. I am not sponsored by them. I use them. That is why I can attest and I can tell you that they are real and they make a lot of financial sense. I know that so many people will say that they still want the traditional brick and mortar bank because they love walking into a bank and being able to talk to somebody and withdraw money. But let me tell you something. Another way that you can make money using your own money is putting your money in a high yield savings account and earning up to 4 to 5% interest rate. Tell me, which brick and mortar bank will give you that kind of interest rate? Which brick and mortar bank will give you that kind of interest rate? Most nurses have 50,000 saved up in their account. Do you know how much you could have been getting monthly just by saving 50,000 in a high yield savings account? Let me tell you, for example, I know how much I have in my high yield savings account, and just for having that account alone, this month or the month of April, I had $97 as interest paid for the month of April. I keep increasing the money in the account, and so next month obviously the money is going to be more than $97. That is free money just by packing money into an online bank that is FDIC insured and protected. Most of these accounts that I've just called, Ally Bank, SoFi, UFB Bank, there's so many out there, are FDIC insured or protected up to a certain amount of money that you put in this account. Most of them will say to about 500,000 US dollars. So why again are you still keeping your money in the brick and mortar banks and earning 0.000 whatever amount percent interest rate when you can earn 4 to 5% interest rate? Like, tell me why. The next reason why most nurses are broke is because they don't know how to negotiate. Look, there is something called negotiation. When they say a car is $28,000, it does not mean that because it was told to you that 28,000 US dollars, you have to just sign that check or swipe your card and pay 28,000 US dollars. There is something called negotiation. I cannot even tell you how many times I have laughed at nurses who have said, oh, I bought this thing and I was told it was this, and they just swiped their card and paid for it. Excuse me, there is something called negotiation. Nurses, at least try to negotiate before being refused or told that no, this is non-negotiable. at least give it a try. It will not kill you. It will not kill you. Nurses, be more open to negotiating. Please, negotiate. The very last reason why nurses are so broke, and this one drives me crazy to the core, is that nurses don't read financial books. Kudos to those nurses who know everything about medications, pathophysiology, and every medical diagnosis that they have come across due to their experience and their number of years that they have worked. But yet, all they keep doing is coming back to work and swiping and not understanding where their monies are going to. You have to be financially literate if you want to become financially independent. I said what I said. There are so many financial books out there that you can read and become a better financial person when it comes to managing your finances. Let me show you some books that I have read. I have read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I have read The Millionaire Next Door. This is a book that I am currently reading. I will teach you to be rich. This is another one, Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires. This is another one, The Financial Pocket Knives. And there are so many other books which I'm going to link here that I have bought from Amazon. Nurses, try to be financially literate. There is so much financial wisdom, so much financial nugget out there that you can only get when you read financial books. Let's try to be more literate. Nurses, let us try to be more literate. There is no way you will understand your own money by passing medications to patients. There is no way you will understand your own financial position or your own financial stand if you don't educate yourself on financial wisdom nuggets and so many free knowledge out there. Go to YouTube, go read online. There is so many places you can read and educate yourself or bring yourself up to date in terms of financial wisdom. Buy books. Buy books. There is so many books. Most of these books will cost like $15, $9, or if you are not into books, you can always go for the ebook version or audio book. I also buy audio books and I listen to them whilst I'm driving to work or when I know that I have a long drive to make. I also listen to books when I'm driving or when I'm doing chores at home. Be financially literate if you want to become financially independent. My nurses out there, there is no way you will become financially independent if you don't become financially literate. Read books, listen to books, buy things that would open your head, open your mind on making more money, investments, budgeting, saving. There are so many apps out there that can teach you on how to budget and how to become the financial guru, the financial literate or investment savvy person that you want to be. I know I have said so much in this video, but if you missed something and you were like, what did she say again? Just rewind back, go back, re-listen to this video. And my nurses out there, I implore you guys to put all this wisdom and points I have mentioned here to action, and you will see your financial goals being attainable, being feasible, being achieved in a shorter period than you expected. Thank you all for staying right up to the end of this video. I hope that this video was very mind-blowing, very mind-opening, and it has enlightened you more on becoming financially savvy. Please do consider liking and sharing, and until then, I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe. I love you guys. Bye guys.